Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And the man Stephen Comlow.
Hello.
Yeah, have a day over there.
Yep.
Before we get into our top catch for
Not an
the
ad.
evening, just a reminder to follow us on all of our social media on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at UCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio.
Sure.
And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for this evening. And this week we went with college football playoff reaction because there's, at this point, the rankings just came out maybe 30 minutes ago to an hour, our local time here on the East Coast on Tuesday. And we were talking before the show. Basically, you have this ranking and you have next week after the regular season, and that kind of has things set because of the fact that those championship games may mean that X team is in, because I believe the playoff committee said they're not going to hold, allegedly said they're not going to hold the championship games against teams that plan it and earn it. So, like, if a team gets theirs undefeated, like possibly Texas A&M, and loses it, they're not going to say, oh, well, we're just going to fully blast you and you're going to go from number 3 to number 12 and you'll be out, right? They're not going to hold it against them in that standpoint.
You can't lose the championship way and get kicked out. You can't lose a championship game and get kicked out. But you have to be in first, like the ACC. You're not going to get two teams in. It's only
this ranking here is very telling because it pretty much says who, has to win this weekend and who, could be eliminated this weekend because of the fact that if you're not qualifying for one of those conference championship games after this weekend, your regular season is done. You're at the mercy of everyone else. You can't control your destiny.
The biggest thing I'm seeing from this is they put the ACC teams ahead of the group of 5. So the only group of 5 team in there is Tulane.
Green Wave.
That means North Texas and JMU are on the outside looking in. They still have a chance. Doesn't mean it's over, but they still have a chance. But what it also means is that the ACC will get a team in, no matter what. They will get SMU or UVA or Pitt or Georgia Tech, right? Those teams
or Miami.
Miami
does. But, however, we brought up the doomsday scenario. Duke still has a chance somehow. 5-loss Duke still has a chance to get to the ACC championship game. And their path is not all that convoluted compared to what, like, Miami's paths. Miami has like a gajillion different scenarios that have to happen for them to get in. But there's all sorts of things, and it would not be shocking if those happen based off of the precedent that college football has set, not just this year, but previous seasons. But the doomsday still exists that Duke can get in with a couple, well-timed losses by certain teams, and obviously a victory by them. I think they play Wake Forest. Well, no, that's the doomsday scenario, though, is what I'm saying, is that Duke has a chance to still win the ACC championship,
right, and that
which would mean they wouldn't get in because obviously they'd be crowned the conference champion. There's no way they would finish as one of the top 5 highest-ranked conference champions because even though not pictured here is the likes of James Madison, North Texas, Navy, and you have Tulane right there. Obviously, Tulane, Navy, and North Texas all play in the same conference, but you would think if any of those teams win that conference, they'd still be ranked ahead of Duke. And even if JMU were to lose this coming weekend and win their conference, they'd still be ranked ahead of a 5-loss Duke team, right? So that's still the doomsday scenario, is that the ACC loses out on their conference champion and that they would hope for, at this point, the only team with a shot in at large would be Miami.
Right.
But that, and I guess it could happen because if Miami beats Pitt and Miami doesn't get to the ACC championship game, there's a chance that they jump Miami over BYU, maybe Alabama, but they wouldn't jump them Alabama. But they could jump BYU because of the fact that Miami has that Notre Dame victory on their resume that still stands out above all else.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But this doesn't mean that BYU... Does this mean BYU is in right now? Because it would be ACC champion takes out 12,
so
and then Tulane takes out 11.
Yeah, so basically
BYU is the last team
out.
Or first team out. Sorry,
first team out. Yeah, but as it stands here, if their bracket, I'm sure I know Kamlo had it pulled up. Bracket will have Miami in and Tulane in because Miami's the highest ranked ACC team. But as we said before, they're there because they're still mathematically able to get to the ACC championship, even though it is very unlikely. So this is, you kind of have to take the Miami one with a grain of salt, because
here's what your bracket looks like right now.
Yes, so
but Miami,
they're assuming they're going to be the automatic bid, because if they were at large, that 11th spot, as you pointed out, Boyd, would belong to BYU. So yes, BYU is the first team out in this scenario. Interesting to me that Oklahoma would get the home game over Notre Dame. I think that goes back to some SEC biases there. But Oklahoma does have
I don't know
the
about
Alabama
that.
win,
I think
do
Oklahoma. I don't know about SEC bias with that. I actually think that's based on what it should
on
be
resume.
Based on, which is resume. Your
but
resume. Oklahoma has a better resume.
You're talking like degree of difficulty.
Well, in terms of victories,
wins,
Oklahoma has
wins.
To a Tennessee win, and Alabama win,
Notre
Michigan
Dame has what, USC, right? I think is their best win.
But Notre Dame, in their defense, and what the committee has said previously before, is they take into account, and they use this, they've said a lot, how you're playing at this time, like where you are. They've used that previously to rank Alabama ahead of other teams, because they've said that
use whatever metric they want to flip things.
Correct, to control their narrative. Yes, to control the narrative.
Miami has the same number of losses as Notre Dame, but Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. Mm-hmm. However, when you look at the two teams now, do you think that Miami's a better team than Notre Dame? And you probably say no. Probably say Notre Dame's a national championship caliber team.
I mean, they're on a 9-game heater right now.
But how do you not look at that and also go, well, it doesn't matter what I think because Miami beat them.
Yes.
They clearly have the win.
Well, you're right. They'll carefully craft their argument to fit the narrative that they want, right? And again, you're right. It's to me personally, I have Notre Dame ahead of them because of the fact that I believe right now Notre Dame's a better team and Notre Dame's a number of losses, right? But like you said, boy, Oklahoma's resume, if you go down, it is better, right? When you consider an Alabama win in Tuscaloosa, Tennessee win in Tennessee, even though Tennessee's not obviously not any good.
Tennessee hasn't beaten anybody.
They haven't beat anybody.
Unless they beat Vanderbilt.
They have. You're right. Tennessee and Mizzou are what's helping a lot of these teams because they haven't beat anyone. But they'll say, "Oh, it's a 7-8 win SEC team, so they must be good." But they haven't beat anyone, right? But that's still a good win.
Didn't Oklahoma get blown out by Texas?
Yeah,
wasn't that an absolute slaughterhouse?
Yeah, their quarterback was I think was he out that game or just fresh
first game back after breaking his throwing hand?
Yeah,
they brought him back too soon. It still looks like it's affecting him.
So the SEC has a couple like Oklahoma getting smoked by Texas. Texas is playing better now, but at the time, I don't think Texas
still stinks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, still stinks. Alabama has probably the worst loss. They might have the worst loss. Actually, they do. They absolutely have the worst loss out of any of these teams. Well, except Tulane. Tulane got blown out by UTSA. So that's why I don't like having Tulane as the Group of 5 team. I think
Green Wave
is a better team, but for some reason they love Tulane. But Alabama's loss out of all these other teams is the worst out of all of them. Losing that game to Florida State by 2 scores, they just wash over it. No one cares.
Because boy, it goes back to that's
about recency.
Exactly. It's the first game of the year. They're playing much better now. But like I said, they'll use that to keep Alabama in, but they'll use that, when they should also be using it for Notre Dame, they'll use it to keep Notre Dame ranked below.
Oklahoma lost 2 weeks ago, and Notre Dame's on a 9-game win streak.
No, Oklahoma.
Didn't Oklahoma just lose 2 weeks ago or something like that?
No.
They lost to Ole Miss in Texas, That's
right. It was a month. It was a month ago.
But their last this is what Nick is saying with Tennessee and Missouri propping them up because they're after that Ole Miss loss, they beat Tennessee on the road when Tennessee was ranked number 14 at the time. Then they went into Alabama and won that game, which is one of the more impressive wins. I will say that.
Yes.
And then they played Missouri at home, and Mizzou was ranked 22 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They do also have a win over Michigan in the second week of the season.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. That Michigan win, that Michigan win and the Alabama win.
They beat Auburn when Auburn was ranked at the time, and we know Auburn stinks.
Correct. So, that's how it's used to help.
Right.
Like you said, it's building up
Missouri's
Oklahoma.
Not very good, and they play LSU to end the year, and they'll be like, "Well, LSU was preseason ranked like
correct
4."
And then because you're right, the argument too is like we know we can look at Missouri and be like,
the Michigan,
they're really not that good, but they have 7 wins because they've stacked their schedule so where.
Right. So Oklahoma, I still like Oklahoma there because they beat Michigan and they beat Alabama. Those are 2 very big wins.
Yeah,
I like Oklahoma there.
I'm fine with it.
So the only team that you're looking at that you might be thinking like, where are they? Would be BYU, and it's the one team that I love BYU. They deserve to be in, but who do you take out?
Yeah,
that's
personally,
the biggest issue is I need, like, if you're a BYU fan, like, how can you go, God, we went 11-1, got to the Big 12, and like we played the most teams that are bowl eligible out of any of these teams. They beat the most teams that are bowl eligible. How do you not put them in? And it's like, well, who do you take out?
Yeah,
because they wouldn't take out Alabama because that's not good for their brand. I think that would be the team because I don't trust Alabama
because Alabama has probably the biggest win out of any of these teams
with the win over Georgia.
Yeah, in what I believe that game was in Athens, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's the issue though is what do you balance? And like you said, boy, the committee will use what they need, right? You could bring these things up. Well, yes, they have that one, but they also have the worst loss. And then they'll say, well, that was the first game of the year, right? They'll use that, but then they won't give Notre Dame a pass on those first 2 games of A&M and Miami, especially by combined 4 points, and where the A&M game was basically because the guy dropped the snap. Like it wasn't anything. Like that game was so neck and neck. Those 2 teams, I think, if they meet today, would be a very close and competitive game the same way.
I agree.
And I think
I have no problem. I actually don't have any issue with Notre Dame in because I think they're a national championship worthy team. Yeah. I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth too because I'm a big believer in you got to play the games and Miami has to win. But I again, it's like, who do you take out? So can you swap Miami and Notre Dame? But Notre Dame also
would be out at that point,
right? But Notre Dame.
Well, no, they would still be
some of these other.
No, they'd be out because BYU would be in that spot because Miami would be still the other conference champion and BYU would take their spot, and that you can't. As much as I do like BYU, Notre Dame's better than BYU. I'm sorry, Notre Dame's better, right? So yes, you're right. I'm with you. It's hard to say there's an egregious error in this.
Someone to lose.
Correct. They need more clarification so that you get rid of this. But I will say something that I said last year as well.
Makes great content.
At this point, right, we are debating over top 12 teams or something. And we're kind of splitting hairs because at the same token, if you're going to complain about being out, well, any team that's going to be out that's ranked whatever, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, they had opportunities to not be ranked 12, 13, 14, 15. You still have the ability to control your stuff and take care of your business. So if you're sitting there in Miami and you wind up not making the playoff, even by finishing with
don't lose
2 losses, Louisville. Don't lose to SMU and don't lose to Louisville at home.
Yeah.
Louisville at home. It's very, right? To me, Miami to me, like, even though they have the Notre Dame win, I agree with you 100%. They are the biggest ones of don't lose those games.
Yeah.
The regular season still matters. And this is also why I love at 12 as the number for this. I think it's the perfect number. Now, it won't stay that way because people are greedy assholes.
Money.
And they'll put it to 16. Money, please. But 12 is the perfect number because it keeps the regular season as the greatest regular season in all of sports. Plus, it allows more teams to be relevant at the end of the year. I think it's that perfect combination of relevancy with the games really mattering in the regular season. So BYU slipped up once against the number 5 team in this.
Yes.
And they're out, right?
Yeah.
They had no margin for error.
And which is what people have been wanting.
Out. Right. Which is what you want as your This is the toughest regular season in all of sports. You have to be almost perfect. Sometimes you have to be perfect, depending on what conference you're in or what the other teams do. I feel like any other year, BYU's resume is sitting there at number 6.
Yeah, no, it does.
We're not talking about it.
It all depends on different years. Kamala, can you go back to the full top 25, please? Just for this part. Yeah, and you look at this, right? Utah's another team. You could say, well, why?
They beat BYU, or Utah, or BYU beat Utah, which is a great win.
Yes.
Correct. And it's not getting treated as such. I mean, it goes back. I was looking, I think it was BYU or someone else, another Big 12 school. I think it was BYU, right? And it kind of goes back to the Mizzou, Tennessee argument. BYU's beaten a bunch of teams like Mizzou and Tennessee, like in Arizona and Cincinnati, right? But yet, I mean, Tennessee's still ranked. Why? How? I don't know. They have beaten nobody. Right? No, you have to. Yes, you can say, well, their losses are only by this or to these teams. Their losses to what? Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma.
Versus Georgia by 3,
and OT.
Let's see, at Alabama by 17.
Yeah, they got smoked in that game.
Versus Oklahoma by 6.
Yes, Oklahoma pretty much dominated that game.
You want me to tell you Tennessee's wins?
I know. Well, I know. It's the same point, right? Like they beaten this just as little, if not.
No,
less teams in Iowa State, Cincinnati, Arizona. Yes,
their conference wins are Mississippi State.
Woo! They're 5 and 6.
Arkansas.
Woo! They are winless in conference play.
At Kentucky.
I believe they have 1 or 2 conference wins.
At Florida.
Same.
And that's it. That's their conference wins.
Yes, and their out of conference is
Syracuse,
who has 3 wins.
Eastern Tennessee State.
The Buccaneers.
That smells like shit.
The fighting
Syracuse.
Trent Dilfers. Yes. Jesus.
I knew you would love that article.
Shout out to the Onion. It said brown stain on the side. We don't know.
They beat the Fighting Trent Dilfers in UAB.
Yes.
And then they beat their November cupcake, New Mexico State. Why is this team ranked? Why are they even considered to be ranked? I don't know.
Just need someone.
No, because it props up.
There are people.
It props up Alabama. Yeah, Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia. It props all those teams up.
But could you make that argument as well for like Miami? Because their second loss was to SMU, and SMU wasn't ranked then. SMU was recently ranked. Like, I think within the last, week or 2.
Now, as SMU, though...
So does SMU getting ranked now make that loss, Miami's loss to them, look not as bad?
Correct.
Okay.
But I will say, to be devil's advocate, SMU's... They have 3 losses. I believe they all came early in the season. Baylor, TCU,
and someone else.
1 conference
Someone in conference.
Yeah.
Wake,
which is a bad loss. Yeah. So yes, Kamala, to your point,
Wake might go 9-3. By the way,
you're right. That is true. Wake has they have played a weak schedule. They've still they have a win over current 21. They have a win over current 18, and UVA and SMU. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty damn good year.
Especially for Wake Forest, yes. So I guess you're right. When you think of it that way, maybe it's them realizing that maybe we should have had SMU up here before, especially coming off of the heels of their season last year where they got in the playoff. Maybe it's almost like an overcorrection because I would argue, why are they ranked ahead of Pitt, who just beat Georgia Tech?
I don't know why SMU
and dominated Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I also don't know why. Well, I do know why, but they should be ranked ahead of the group of 5 teams.
Yes, boy, tell us why they are, because I know why as well.
Well, it guarantees that the ACC gets a team in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, besides your Duke scenario, this pretty much guarantees the ACC will get a team in, which means ESPN has the ACC as a partner. It's all more money. You want the Power 4 team in, even though they might not deserve it.
Because SMU is more SMU is more likely to get to that ACC championship game than Pitt is because Pitt has to beat Miami to get there. Whereas SMU, who the hell? Cal? Cal just fired their coach? Yes. So SMU has to beat them and then hope for Pitt loses, right?
Yeah.
That's it. They beat Cal and Pitt loses and they're in.
Pitt doesn't have to lose. SMU's in.
If they beat Cal?
Yeah. SMU has the inside track.
So that takes up because Georgia Tech they have 2 conference losses.
Georgia Tech has 2 losses. Georgia Tech's done.
Well, they still have a scenario they can get in because they do play Georgia.
Same thing with the Duke thing, but
yeah.
UVA,
so
UVA is winning in. SMU is winning in, and if either of those teams loses, which can happen, then you have a bunch of chaos. And the reason why Pitt and Georgia Tech are above Tulane is for that reason.
Because someone has to win between Miami and Pitt.
So they're putting all of their chips in this, and then if Miami somehow makes it there, then Miami
they're golden.
Get it. Right? Yeah, I actually think Pitt's gonna beat Miami.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You know why? That game's in Pittsburgh. It's gonna be cold as shit.
It might be cold. Yeah,
it might be. It's gonna be very cold.
Like golfing in Waynesboro on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kamala's golfing in 33 degrees is the high with a wind chill probably in the 20s.
It's barbecue weather
on Friday.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Updates to follow.
You think those guys from Miami are gonna want to go to Pittsburgh in 25 degrees?
Every one of them's gonna have a balaclava over their head, and you'll be bundled up with like 3 different.
People call those shiesties now. Those aren't called balaclavas. They're called shiesties.
Okay.
I
find that offensive.
Just saying. You know, if we're trying to be cool, hip, young fellas.
It's hip, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade.
Hey, Macarena.
I
can be cool. I can be hip.
Anything else you're looking at? Texas Tech is above Oregon, Ole Miss, which they're not in the AP poll.
Yes, I think
because that's the correct order.
I don't understand how. I mean, Texas Tech. We've talked about that. Just animals. Like I said before.
So good. By the way, Texas Tech
do not want to
go to Morgantown to end their year.
Oh boy,
let's go, boys! Watch out, we're coming.
Oh boy,
that would cause a problem.
Yeah, coming down the handicap ramp in stretchers and wheelchairs.
Yeah, we kind of alluded to the importance of this coming weekend. It can't be overstated because it is rivalry week, and
we get
those games. Well, I wanted to keep it up there because there were some teams I wanted to highlight there about who they're playing. To see
your
this
beautiful
weekend.
Faces like this.
Yeah, but now
he's got to remember those teams.
Yes, but in rivalry
it's hard
games
for him. What are we talking about, Stevie? Come on.
In those games, anything can happen. Anything can happen, right? It doesn't matter. The kick 6 with Auburn and Alabama, Auburn had no business winning that game. Alabama was fairly heavily favored. And same kind of thing here, right? So Ohio State, number 1, is playing Michigan, number 15. And for whatever reason, Ryan Day can't beat Michigan, even though he's had the better team like every year.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Texas A&M at number 3 will play Texas, who's number 16 in Texas. So that can throw a wrench in a lot of different things as well. If Texas gets that victory, and A&M, I don't know if that loss would put them out of the SEC championship game, but it would make it so there's a possibility that they could finish with 2 losses by losing Texas and losing in the SEC championship game. Now, Georgia done SEC play because they play Georgia Tech, but this is arguably the biggest Georgia Tech game in a long, long time because, number 23 and number 4, as we see here. But, right, if Georgia were to lose the game and Georgia Tech were to win, where you put Georgia Tech, because now that's, that's up there with Alabama's victory over Georgia as one of the biggest victories of the year.
I agree. But
Oregon plays Washington. They hate each other.
It's a tough game. Yeah,
and it's a tough
game. Washington's good.
Yes. Even though we saw them somehow lose to Wisconsin, Washington's still a good team, right? So that can throw a wrench in holdings because that's also a conference game, remember, in the Big Ten. So that changes things a bit. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. I've said this before on the show. Crazy shit happens in that game all the time. So it does not matter. That's one of the ones that does not matter at all, records, because the craziest things you're ever going to see are going to happen in that game, right? Alabama-Auburn, same type of thing going, right? We talked about Miami's playing Pitt. right? Vandy, Tennessee, that's 14-19 for whatever reason for Tennessee right there. That's still a big game. Is USC playing UCLA? Is that this weekend or is that already happened? That's also a conference game.
I'm not sure.
Arizona State, Arizona. Both those teams are ranked now. I know that may not have that big implications in terms of the Big 12 because it's
Arizona
pretty
State
much
still has a chance.
They still have a chance.
State still has a chance. Yes.
Right, and so all those things are happening. And again, I'm missing some other great games, but I noticed going through that there were a ton of rivalry games this year where the teams had really good records, like Arizona State, Arizona. How often are those two teams ranked playing each other, right? Like that's
usually it's a
pretty great game that you've got, right? And again, we're missing so many other great rivalries, but just for the playoff implications, there are a ton, right, in that could affect this.
And the biggest one, UVA versus Virginia Tech.
Yes. Why is that the biggest one, boy?
Well, for starters,
We got
UVA
stakes in
has
it.
a complete mental block whenever they play Virginia Tech. It doesn't matter what the records are. Like, UVA can't beat them. I believe you have one win in the last, 25 years, something like that.
Two. I believe
03
and 2019, I believe. You'd have to double check me.
That's just ridiculous.
Yes.
Two, UVA controls their own destiny, right? We've said it before. If UVA wins, it gets the ACC championship, and if they win the ACC championship, they go to the college football playoff. Now, and it shouldn't be too far-fetched of an ask for UVA to do that.
Especially with the game at home.
Especially with the game is at home, but it's a night game. It's prime time. It's 25 degrees. It's set up for all the heartbreak. Cam Robinson is out, UVA star middle linebacker who is all-American caliber. So that hurts. I also saw some people say, I fully expect Virginia Tech to look like 2019 LSU in this game.
Yeah. Because it would, right? Like, they've been so miserable all year. But
so bad, but this would be just like them to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Play it. They played so terrible. I mean, even in their wins, they haven't played well.
Yes.
But it would be just like them to just pull it out and go and run all over UVA. And UVA, by the way, is I think one of 4 teams to never trail by more than 10 points.
I saw that. Yeah. Just wild. Means you've been competitive, right? Very
Correct.
competitive. Yeah.
And as a UVA fan, Nick, even with Cam Robinson out, I feel like you should have some confidence that the defense has been playing great.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of depth. Like, when you talk about NIL and transfers, all that stuff, one of the things that's discounted is the amount of depth that you need. Texas Tech has done that, like depth after depth after depth. And UVA has a lot of depth, especially on that side of the ball. They did that on purpose, which has worked out very well. And Cam Robinson has missed several games this year that UVA was still able to,
Correct.
Play well. But it's still a huge loss because, like you said, boy, when Cam Robinson is healthy, he legitimately is, all ACC, all-American, like caliber. Yes, like in that conversation with some of the best linebackers that you'll see in terms of the athleticism, the instincts, right? So it does hurt a lot. But, this team has had that next man up mentality. Again, in a rivalry game, you never know. It's kind of like those playoff games, like those game sevens. The Miggy Rojas's of the world step up randomly in these games.
Well, you need you need
that guy who returned. Was it what's the guy? Was it Chris Brown? Is that his name? Who returned the kick for Auburn?
Yeah,
I think right. That's a random dude, really. But he goes down in the annals of college football history, Auburn history, the Iron Bowl history of all those things because of the play he made. Right, so. These rivalry games, weird things happen. It's incredible.
We also did say it's set up to be 2007 West Virginia Pitt.
Yes,
it's set up.
It absolutely is for a lot of teams. But the rivalries are great, so it should be fun.
So I fully believe that not every favorite will win.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's not. By the way, Tennessee is favored to beat Vanderbilt. By the way,
it's in Tennessee, though, right?
Yeah, it's in Knoxville. Well, both teams are in Tennessee. It's in Knoxville, home of.
I'm gonna reach through here. And I'm
Home
going
of
to
the
yank.
1980s World's Fair.
Yeah, that
Knoxville,
is true.
Tennessee.
Indiana does play Purdue, by the way. Don't sleep on that one.
I expect that to be 60-0.
Couple Boilermakers over here.
Hey, you guys want to drink some Boilermakers?
Sign me up.
All right. Yep. All right, let's get on to our 3 strikes. Kamlo, hit it.
Hold on, man. Chill out. There we go. That's one.
Boy, college football winners and losers from this past week.
Let's do it. College football winners and losers, our recurring segment, like we do every week. Go over the winners and losers
L for love.
for the previous week. L for love. Let's start with the losers because we always do. I'm going to start with Eastern Carolina, ECU, East Carolina. Here, they were actually in the discussion. They had a chance to get to the American title game, and they got the shit kicked out of them by UTSA, which for other teams, apparently that doesn't matter, like Tulane. But that ended ECU's season.
R-O-C-K in the UTSA.
Pirates, you're done. You have a great midfield logo, but you're done. See you.
Done. She's dead.
Done. You're done. Next one, Cal. Cal lost 31-10 to Stanford. So that was a rival. So you lost the trophy, which I believe is an axe.
Yes, it is.
Badass.
Yeah, it looked dangerous as hell.
Well, you see they had to hand it over to them, too.
Yes, they have to hand it's a bunch of
and
nerds.
the big-ass lineman just getting right in their face.
Yeah. I saw that. I was at the Stanford. Number 74 is in there for protection. That's great.
Yes.
Somebody kill somebody.
But the other part of this is that Cal fired their coach, which made 0 sense to me. Did that make any sense to you?
The only way it makes sense from the immediate optics of it, right? Of, losing to your rival who's bad and getting killed and embarrassed on national TV. It doesn't make sense in terms of the fact that you're Cal. And this guy you're going to a bowl game for the 3rd straight year? Like, what more could you ask for? But, if you're sitting there saying, we're not okay with being just a 6-win team, especially with the ACC, the schedule that we have, we should be able to beat these teams. Their general manager, I believe that's what his title is none other than former great NFL head coach Ron Rivera is their GM. He was on the sidelines in a Cal letter jacket. So I wonder if it is booster related, right? The pressure was there. The booster said, we're not going to put more money into it if this is the result that we have against our rival. Fire him. We're going to infuse some money. New coach, new transfers, whatever. But again, I don't like it too because of their quarterback. Sangapulatelli is the best freshman quarterback in the country. He has the makings of being the real deal. And now you just fired his coach. The odds of him he's gone. Right? So you lost out on being able to have possibly the best sophomore quarterback in the whole country coming back next year. To keep him, you're going to have to throw a shit ton of money at him. But you need that money to fix other holes in your roster. So it kind of, from that standpoint, doesn't make sense. It also doesn't make sense because of the fact of all the other schools that have fired their coaches. You're now way down on the line of, are you going to get someone...
You're so low. I don't know.
You're almost screwed from that standpoint. It's a big reason why I believe Wisconsin didn't fire Luke Fickell. So from those reasons, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense from the immediate gratification standpoint, but that's not always the best thing to go by.
Yep. Next team, USC 42-27 lost to Oregon. Viewer dominated the whole game. Oregon was in control. It feels like the same Lincoln Riley story at USC. Great recruits, team super talented, can't win the big games. I mean, it's a game that it's very difficult to win. No one goes into Autzen and wins that game except for Indiana.
Unless you're Signetti.
If you want to be Indiana, which is hilarious to say, USC. The University of Southern California. If you want to be Indiana, you have to win these games.
Yes.
Imagine saying that even 3 years ago.
Hell, even saying it last year.
Imagine telling Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart.
You're looking up in conference play at Indiana. They'll probably slap you in the face.
Yeah.
And then drive off in their Lamborghinis that they paid for with their own money. Yep. Right?
So USC continues to not win anything. Classic. Next one, Illinois. Speaking of Wisconsin here, Illinois 27-10 lost to Wisconsin. Just embarrassing. Don't know how that happened. Luke Fickell, since being told he's coming back, did win 2 pretty big games. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
2 ranked opponents.
2 ranked opponents. I believe they stormed the field twice.
They did. So I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about them storming the field either time?
I don't mind the Washington. So I don't mind Washington because Washington was ranked and playing really, really well, and your team was just terrible. You've been looking for anything to celebrate. So I don't mind that one. Illinois, the only thing I can say, like, I get it is because it's Bielema. Like,
And he kind of screwed Wisconsin over.
He kind of screwed Wisconsin over. So, like, I get that. But the second one, I don't understand it. Like,
I know. I didn't
storm the field twice in a row.
I didn't understand it either.
Every win you have, you're gonna storm the field. I don't know.
Are they going to storm the field if they beat Minnesota?
Because it's your rival.
Yeah.
Right at that point.
Storm.
But you're right. You're right. It's set so
we
weird.
got to root for a three-peat.
Isn't that was the Minnesota game at home or in Madison?
Oh, I don't know where it is.
I thought it was.
What's the over/under on the field getting stormed?
Depends on where this game is.
Yeah, I gotta find where the game is.
I do not think Minnesota would storm the field.
No, probably not.
Especially with the last couple years, PJ Fleck has the Badgers number. They're a better team.
I expect Minnesota to win that game,
which has not always been the case in this rivalry in the last 25 years.
Always, it is in Minnesota.
Okay, so no.
So,
but you're right. I saw that and I was like, really?
25,000.
They're going to storm the field? You're Wisconsin. Because the other thing, too, I looked at, you're Wisconsin, they're Illinois. Illinois historically sucks. Wisconsin, for our whole lifetime, has been excellent. Right?
Hit them with the capital X.
They have. Even when they brought in Lovie Smith, they were terrible. Right? Terrible. They're almost Kansas level on some years, right? But so you're going to storm it on them. And you're right. Maybe most of it, the impetus was because it's Bielema.
Storm it.
And it's like
them.
Impetus for the court. Impetus. Look it up.
You calling us impotent?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you say about me?
Yeah.
You call me a liar?
I ain't calling you a truther.
I ain't calling you for dinner.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Keep it twisted.
Twisted tea.
A glass bottle twisted tea in November? You're not even tailgating. The sun's not out.
It was on sale. Why do you think I have it? On sale. Discount liquor is the best way to go. Oh, actually, sorry. The only way to go.
I like my liquor like trains on the rails.
Shout out Total Wine for bringing us bargain prices on glass bottle twisted tea.
No, I believe this was in Harris Teeter sitting in a shopping cart labeled discount beer.
Good Lord.
Oh, this looks good.
Right next to those, right next to those, like tasty cake pies.
Or
Jordan was like, "Why?
Or
why
the
do
buzz balls."
I did buy a couple buzz balls today.
Those are
Nick, have you real quick? And I don't mean to get too off topic.
Before.
Nick, have you ever purchased one of the giant buzz balls,
No,
like the beach balls?
Can't bring myself to that. I couldn't do that.
All right, something to shoot for then.
What's the price per fluid ounce? That's
Hey,
way higher than Twisted Tea.
Woman owned, by the way, buzz balls.
Thank you.
They taste terrible.
Thank you, Buzz Balls.
Oh, it depends. It depends on the flavor.
Breaking
Believe it or
through
not,
glass
the best
ceilings.
one I've had has been like,
or something.
yeah, it was like a chocolate coffee one. It was like a cream one. It was really good. Has to be very cold. Obviously, I'm not drinking it warm.
Yeah, it also singed the enamel. It also singed the enamel off your teeth.
Yeah, I can't really taste anything anymore.
And cauterized your tonsils.
I've lost our taste and smell, but it's great.
But boy, these buzz balls fuck you up. Buzz balls to the moon.
Woman owned.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry.
Not an ad.
Back to what we were talking about.
My number one loser that caused probably a lot of people in Atlanta to drink buzz balls. Georgia Tech.
Those nerds, you think those nerds are drinking that? Go to Georgia
I don't know,
Tech.
It's Atlanta, dude.
But it's Georgia Tech.
Nerds.
Nerds.
People that went to the game that are probably drinking.
Yeah, those people are all Georgia fans. They're not Georgia Tech fans. Spoiler alert. I don't think there's such thing as a Georgia Tech fan unless you went to Georgia Tech.
Oh my god.
That's probably true. But Georgia Tech's my number one loser. 42-28 lost to Pitt. You're dead. Dead.
Yeah. Enjoy your buzz balls, idiots.
Yep.
Woman owned.
All right, do we want to go to the winners?
Hey, Haynes King looked like trash, by the way. That's the first time
we want to go to the winners.
Garbage. First time ever.
Let's hear about the
That's
people
just the first
drinking
time
Top
for
Shelf
everything.
this week who aren't shopping for discount liquor.
Harrisonburg, Virginia. Even though they probably are shopping for discount liquor there.
Party school.
Harrisonburg, Virginia. JMU over Wazoo. Big win. Still alive. Dukes. Yeah. JMU still alive. I think
Should be ranked in the top 20. Top 20, I'm sorry.
Agreed.
I agree there too. They look the part. They look really good.
Well, that's the thing too. Like that win, right? Ole Miss sits there and gets credit for that being a win against Wazoo, but JMU's not going to get the credit.
No, actually, UVA doesn't. It's only UVA. It was UVA. Wow, what a tight game! Even though Ole Miss only beat them by 3.
UVA shouldn't
actually beat them by more points.
UVA shouldn't get credit for that because the Wazoo completely collapsed, and UVA was not normal UVA and capitalized on the mistakes, right? And Wazoo should have won that game. In a lot of ways, they probably should have beat Ole Miss, and they probably should have beat JMU, to be honest. But JMU pulled it out. They showed the mettle that you need to win those games. And as we talked about before, Wazoo's a quality opponent. I don't care about record because you look at their results. Like, that's the other thing too, right? Too often we look at win-loss record, and I understand that, right? You play to win the game. Hello. Like, that win-loss is, to be honest, really all that should matter. But when you look at Wazoo and their results on some of these things, it's like, wow, that's a good team. But then obviously you look at the North Texas result, losing by 50, right? To a good North Texas team, obviously.
Yeah, so Wazoo has a new coach. You have to get your culture in. Typically, you get better as the year goes on. So JMU playing them last week is probably the best version that Washington State was going to be this year. That middle Ole Miss UVA stretch, you saw them how much they improved.
Yes,
like week to week.
But then they laid an egg against Oregon State,
which is going to happen sometimes.
Lose 10-7.
Yeah, which
sometimes they do play again this week.
That's true.
They play each other twice this year. This one, I believe, is in Wazoo in the Palouse. Pullman, the Palouse, yes.
All right, next team, Pitt over Georgia Tech. We talked about it, but now the College Football Playoff Committee put Pitt above Tulane, so Pitt still has a chance at the College Football Playoff if they can somehow get to the ACC Championship. Starts with beating Miami, which I actually think they will. The next team on here is BYU, 26-14 over Cincinnati. Took care of business. I know
in Cincinnati, right?
In Cincinnati at night. That's a tough place to play. Cincinnati's been a much better team this year than last year. They've got some pieces. BYU controlled that game.
Yes,
there was no part of me that thought Cincinnati had any chance of winning. That was BYU controlling that game, and LJ Martin is one of my favorite running backs to watch.
Yeah, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I was watching that game going, I believe LJ Martin will have the best career of any of the current running backs now. That he'll have a better NFL career than Jeremiah Love. And I know that is insane to a lot of people, and it's no disrespect to Jeremiah Love and how great he is, but I was just watching it going, I just feel like there's more completeness here that
he's the bell cow.
Yes, that's a little different. That Love will have to depend on the situation he goes to in the NFL. Because as we've talked about before, just because the NFL doesn't mean it's the best coaches or the best coaching organizational, structure. So I think it'll depend on the setup. Like if Love went to a Dan Campbell in Detroit, they'll find a way to use him properly, and he won't get overworked. He'll be used in the right spots. And you could argue that really for any back. But if Love goes to a crappy situation, like heck, even like a Jacksonville, right? With Travis Etienne, you would think just should be lighting the world on fire, and he's not, right? So you could see him kind of fizzling out, right? Whereas LJ Martin, I think, could go to many a team, and it wouldn't be a worry of this. He could go to the Jets or the Titans, and I could see him producing a lot.
Yeah, he's someone that I would like if I want to build my perfect back, LJ Martin is the person I want to build it. Like, I know Love is faster. He's got the more explosiveness. He's got the home run hit. LJ Martin is, to me, a complete back and a bell cow. I want bell cows. Like, I think he was 31 rushing attempts for 222 yards or something in this game. Absolute monster. Was taking delivering punishment. You know who he reminds me of? NFL comp for you?
No, go ahead. I have some guesses, but go ahead.
Jamal Lewis.
Oh, I like that. That's very good. Yes. That's a little throwback kind of type of back. They don't look for that as much anymore, but he's not slow. That's the thing. When he's delivering punishment, you think, Brandon Jacobs, who was not that fast.
No, Jamal Lewis is my comp for him.
Yes. I think that's a good comp.
I really think they look similar.
Because the other thing, too, you brought up like the home run hitting ability of Jeremiah Love. And again, that is an excellent asset to have. He's phenomenal, arguably the best player in college football right now. Truly, like you could argue it. But when you get to the next level,
those guys are fast.
Exactly. Man. Everyone is a absolute animal at that next level. There have only been a couple guys ever in the history of football who have home run hitting ability and the NFL level. So those guys who have the L.J. Martin ability to grind out almost Arian Foster, like I could see a little Arian Foster and L.J. Martin as well, grinding those, gashes, those 8-yard gashes out, and then catching a pass out of the backfield for 12 yards, and then another 7 yards. Like those guys, I think, wind up with the more success at that level. That's why I was watching that going, this guy is my guy to watch at the next level because of those little things, the ability to take a 4-yard gain into a 6-yard gain.
Think about his pass protection too. You got to be one tough built son of a bitch to pass protect in the NFL.
And that's
right?
and Peyton and all of them will tell you, I feel like that's one of their things that they look for, and why a lot of times they don't like young running backs is they haven't, gained the skill of pass protection.
That was my thought with why Travion Henderson hadn't played as much, is because there's probably an issue in pass protection. I mean, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know, but that's typically what happens with young running backs.
Yes.
I mean, remember when Nick Saban always tells the story of Derrick Henry going there, and the coach is getting pissed off at freshman Derrick Henry because he didn't know what to do in pass protection, and he went to coach and was like, "Coach, I have no idea what I'm doing. In high school, they just handed me the ball
every play. Go." Yeah, the pride of Yulee, Florida, by the way.
Who?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I've been to his hometown. Don't ask why, but I've been there. Yulee.
Right. If you don't want us to, you won't.
Back to BYU. BYU gets the win. They're sitting as the first team out, so they need some help. Hopefully, it happens because I really like that team. The next one, SMU's 38-6 victory over Louisville. SMU, as we said, jumps into that spot, jumps over Tulane, jumps over the other ACC teams. They control their own destiny. Win against Cal and beat whoever the other side of that ACC coin is.
Doesn't matter.
But win the ACC championship, you're in, right? So SMU, big time victory. They're playing their best football at the right time, by the way. And number one was Oregon. I think Oregon was a statement win. Statement win over USC. That was, okay, this team's for real. They haven't really done anything previous in this season. They lost to Indiana. They did beat Iowa, which we said we were impressed by. Other people would not be impressed by because they'll just look at the score and say you beat Iowa 18-16. No, that was an impressive win. But this one to me was like a statement. This was Oregon's here. Oregon's to stay. Oregon is here to play for a national championship.
Yeah, and I know you love Dan Lanning, head coach at Oregon.
Yes.
And last year you were very high on them about some of the intangible things, the toughness that you don't always see from Oregon. And I was skeptical because it's kind of hard to transform that type of thing. And I think now you're seeing it. Last year they didn't fully have all that. This victory, yes, this victory coupled with that Iowa victory are victories that you wouldn't see from previous Oregon teams, even with all the amount of talent that they had, because the way they did it, with, like you said, all the injuries that they're playing, just next man up, the just grit and toughness that you saw, those are the things that, and the ability to win multiple ways. Those are the things you look at when you say, can this team win a national championship? And to me, with Oregon, after the victory, the answer is yes, they can. Doesn't mean they will, but I believe that you're seeing national championship pedigree out of them, because it's not just enough to have, quote, talent or skill or physical ability out there. You have to have these little intangibles that you can't quantify on any type of stat sheet. Right. And I saw that from Oregon in this game. Very telling, and I believe almost all that has to be attributed to Dan Lanning and the culture he's built there. You're finally seeing, because you saw, obviously, the steps that were taken. And you saw the success. They were having the success. But I still wasn't sold. This year, I'm sold. This is the team that is built to win these games.
Now, don't go out in December against Washington.
Yeah, the team that's built to withstand the pressure of playing a Washington. This is the type of team. Right. Now, like you said,
did you also see his clip, like his pre-game speech, where he goes, because Oregon wore all black, and he goes, "You're wearing black because you're here for a Trojan funeral."
Damn,
love that.
Boom, biting kneecaps.
Let's go Ducks.
Quack quack quack, Mr. Ducksworth. Quack quack quack. All right, boy, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Nope, Kamala hit the button.
It's a great list. I'm not ready to hit the button. You can't just say that and expect it to just be at my fingertips. That's unrealistic.
What are we paying you for?
You guys are getting paid.
Don't pay him. Wait, hold on. You guys are getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
We noticed this error that this employee's been getting paid, but he was fired several years ago.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
All right, here we go.
I asked for
That's two.
I asked for no salt, but it's clearly a salt.
All right. To once again, this will be another week of me shaking things up away from the norm. I want to talk about some soccer because there's some big things happening over in the English Premier League. The reigning league champs Liverpool are imploding. They've dropped 6 of their last 12 games, and they're straight losses.
That's hard to do.
Yes, considering they lost all of 4 games last year.
No playoffs, and you can tie.
Yeah, my job just got a lot easier. But they've lost 6 of their 12 games so far this season, and they spent roughly about 450 million bringing in new players who
That's very Mets-like here.
Yeah, I was about to say, is this the Mets?
who have not done dick. There's a lot of struggles going on over there, and they're very, very real, and it's not just a simple like one-off of, oh, okay, this is a team that's imploding. This team has no identity. There's no identity with this team whatsoever. Their fight and their resilient nature that they showed last year is non-existent. They have not won a game where they haven't scored first. So right now, when they concede the first goal, it's all but over for them.
Well,
yes, all but over for them. And that's not even they're no points, not even a draw. They're not even drawing these games. They're 6 wins, 0 draws, 6 losses. So they're not even coming back to draw these matches, and they're supposed to be the league, the reigning champs, but they're sitting bottom half of the table. I think they're sitting 14th, 12th right now.
12th. They are level on points with Tottenham.
Yes.
Manchester United, who they've been dumpster fires the last couple years.
Yes, they have.
But also, more notably, they're level on points with their Merseyside derby rivals, Everton, who Everton barely stayed in the Premier League, I believe, last year.
Yes. There's so many things going on. Like their captain, Nick, who you're noted as being a huge fan of.
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, Van Dijk. He's been very, very blunt about the state of this team, and is saying that everyone on this squad needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror and start fighting, because their season is all, I mean, there's no chance that they end up winning the title. Obviously it's a long season. There's chances for teams at the top of the table to drop games and them to claw back and end up winning, but it's very, very unlikely, considering like I said, currently, let me pull up the
table.
Yeah, I'll pull up the table real quick.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Well, last year, Liverpool and Arsenal both were in the hunt. I mean, Liverpool won the league last year with 84 points, 25 wins, 9 draws, 4 losses. Arsenal was right behind them, 20 wins, 14 draws, 4 losses. And then it was a pretty sizable gap. But, I mean, top teams in this league, teams that are qualifying for Champions League, teams that are qualifying for FA Cup, aren't dropping 6 games in the first 12 weeks of the season. It's not what happens. It's not how things in the EPL are done. And it's got to be pretty fucking scary, because they have no identity. It's an identity, and it's a cultural issue. And I think there's a lot to compound here outside of their lack of fight, their lack of determination, their lack of resiliency. I mean, their poor integrations of off-season signings. But I just don't know what's going on. If it's a chemistry thing, if it's like fatigue or what, but there's something going on in this camp, and they're losing the fucking plot.
Well, if I may, do you think, because last year was the first year they didn't have Jurgen Klopp, who's just a phenomenal manager for everything he's done.
One of the best.
Yes. And he kind of left on his own terms. Said, I'm kind of done. I'm over this. Need a break, right? Arnie Schlott, I believe, is who took over. And so they won the first year with him. How much do we think that the struggles we're seeing is because of that managerial change.
So
right, because it's not unprecedented, not just Premier like soccer, but elsewhere. Right, I mean, think about Barry Switzer with the Cowboys coming in on the tails of Jimmy Johnson, winning the Super Bowl, I believe, in his first year. But then after that was not much there. I mean, Joe Girardi, same thing with the Yankees,
it's
coming
a
in after
very,
Joe Torre. Do
very
you think
good
that's
comparison, and that is something that a lot of like pundits are kind of pointing the finger at and saying like something that could be like on a deeper level wrong with this team is that there could just be a chemistry slash system glitch, right? If Arne Slot's system or uh his like game plan pretty much isn't clicking with the squad chemistry, or if if you have I think a couple of their free agency signings, if that we'll call them free agency signings, sure, a couple of their offseason signings missed preseason, they could also be very, very slow on the uptake, and then you just chalk up the 6 wins to teams that are just lesser than you. But I mean, it just seems like there's a it just seems like there's so much more wrong than like calling it as simple as a systemic issue, right?
yeah,
Because like
anytime you have negative
at the
goal
end of the day,
differential
they're professionals who, like the manager. Yes, the manager gets to set the squad, he gets to make the substitutions, and more often than not, he dictates the formation that you play. But like this isn't like basketball or football where every time down the field you're calling a play and you have some sort of influence over it, right? It's more off-ball movement and just the pace of play, and chemistry is going to play a huge role in it, right? It's more akin to, I guess you could say, hockey, right? With your forecheck pattern and the way that your team clicks and knows where everyone's going to be coming down the field in an offensive attack, whether it's a counter attack or just off of a set piece. But there's something horribly wrong, because you would think that for a free, like a defending champ, they wouldn't be sitting this far down at 12 games in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, statistically, this is bad. You're not drawing games, and you're not registering any points in games where you concede the first goal. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yes.
And it's just
Now,
like,
how much of that could be burnout though, as well, right?
so that's another thing.
If you're winning, the Premier League, you're very talented. Meaning, a lot of your guys on your squad are playing for their international clubs on their first team, and these last couple years have been the most soccer matches played basically ever in the history of professional soccer. So some of these guys are playing so much that it's either you're playing a guy who is just not at 100%, or you're playing a substitute who's nowhere near as good as this guy, even as much money as you can spend.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I think mental and physical fatigue is definitely something that people should take into account, because it has been a grueling like year and a half of soccer, especially on the international scale, and the battling that you have to do in a league title winning season, I'm sure is unprecedented in anyone's career. But I mean, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know, because like, I'm not saying it's common for soccer teams to come back and win, but you got to think, like, at that point you have all the momentum in the world. You got to think, like, fatigue or not, like, you have to be making something of it. And to just not be registering points, it's not pretty, and it's concerning, and it's definitely something that stuck out to me, because I mean, in America, this is pretty unlikely of a thing to happen.
Well, to make a American comparison, the Kansas City Chiefs would be an American comparison right now, right? They're sitting at 6-5 this year. They're going to have to fight for a playoff spot, and that's the preeminent franchise coach QB combination in the league right now, right? And has a chance to surpass your boy Tom in that regard in the annals. Second reference in NFL history, right? But again, we're seeing them fight for a spot, so it fits that bill. But
I mean, that's
to look for.
That's something I wanted to just talk about, because with Darius wanting to get more involved in soccer, it's something that I've been kind of paying attention to more and more I've always been a very big Liverpool fan, so what better time to pay attention to them than right after they win league title and add to their hardware, right? And so to see him struggling like this, I mean, it really hits home, and
it's the hope that kills you.
It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. But
So I will say that it's
remain hopeless. That's my only hope.
Yes. It was funny. I was watching a clip of one of the London NFL games, and they were asking these legit British people, "How'd you choose your NFL team?" People. Well, because they weren't staged; they just were British fans wearing random like NFL teams. And you know what team? Two teams that the most people said they adopted as their fans of the Bills and
Vikings.
The Chiefs.
The Browns.
Vikings. Oh, the Browns.
Oh,
Browns. And one guy was like wearing a Browns stuff, and he goes, "Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm just used to the disappointment in the losing. So this was a logical choice to pick the Browns." And I thought that was hilarious that the Browns and Bills were the two most popular ones picked by the British people because they were, you know, the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. Like
By the way, the Bills, like there's like a Hallmark movie coming out, and it's like a Bills love story or something. Mm-hmm. And I saw someone goes, "This is the only Hallmark movie that won't end in a ring."
Oof.
Oh, huh.
Good night.
Unnecessary,
but true.
Erroneous on all accounts. That'll bring me to my strike. If you want it, you can wait to hit the button. But before I get to my strike, I do want to shout out my Cowboys getting a incredible win over the Eagles. Just
how about that game?
Crazy unlikely too. Literally, they were getting their butts stomped, and for them to somehow win that game, insane. The best play though was, I believe, Elijah. Isn't it Clark? Elijah Clark. And this has gone all over. If you haven't seen it yet, it's an incredible rep or play. It is one of the greatest plays individual plays you're gonna see, because it's on that level of like subtle, not sticking out, but yet when you see it, you go, "This is what everything that football is supposed to be." Right? He's a gunner on the punt team, is getting worked. The guy blocking him is doing a fantastic job, right? But Clark's not giving up. Like, this is a guy who's fighting tooth and nail to stay an NFL player and just to get another chance to ever play another snap, right? He's fighting so hard, gets up multiple times after being pushed around, sprints essentially across the entire field and drills the returner, forcing a fumble that gives the Cowboys a 1st and goal. Now, the Cowboys don't convert and don't score any points because they get to 4th and goal and go for it and miss it. But that's beside the point, right? That type of play is a winning play. That type of play is a winning life play, right? Like, it encapsulates all the things that you want to teach people about why you play sports, was that play. So it's an incredible play. It is worth watching over and over again because it is just remarkable. And it makes you realize that, you know, there are still guys that care. As much as ESPN wants you to think that it's all about other things, there are guys that would die to play in just one snap of football again.
By the way, you know who recovered that fumble?
The long snapper.
That's correct.
It was awesome. Yes. Great moments in long snapping history right there. But my strike was going to be for the CME Group Tour Championship in the LPGA. So we're going to use this as a Mimosa Minute time. A chance to plug our friends over there at Main & Co., the creators of the Modern Mimosa. Follow them on Instagram at Sip Cultivations and visit them at mainsip.com. That's MAYNESIP.com to order your Modern Mimosas and other craft cocktails today. Main & Co., championing women's athletics since 2020. Again, the LPGA Tour Championship was this past weekend at the Tiburon Golf Club, I believe, in Naples, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Gino Titicol, the number 1 ranked player in the world, he joined Jin Young Ko as the only repeat winners of the CME Group Tour Championship, finishing that event at 26 under par and claiming the $4 million prize, the same prize she won last year, obviously. With Titicol, with her birdie on 18, also broke Annika Sorenstam's 23-year-old season scoring average mark, giving current world number 1 a season average per round of 68.681, besting Annika's 68.697. Now, I believe if Gino plays any else this year, could cost her that scoring average because I think it's 2 shots and it goes away. So let's hope she doesn't play anymore because that would stink to set it in the Tour Championship and lose on a technicality. But pretty remarkable stuff here from the young Thai golfer who I don't even think she's 25. If I'm mistaken. She's very young and just, on a very incredible run. Again, she's the world number 1, surpassed Nelly Korda. I believe our girl Nelly, she became the first golfer, men's or women's, since Tiger Woods in 2010 to win double digit victories one year and then 0 victories the next year, which is kind of remarkable to think about that Nelly didn't win once this year. But it goes to show the skill.
Statistically better this year than she was the previous year.
Yeah, scoring average-wise, yeah. Right? Yeah, but again, Gino Tidical with an incredible year. She's going to win Player of the Year as well, which is just a phenomenal achievement. She is one of the rising stars, I would say, globally in the world of sports, truly. So I wanted to highlight that. Anything else before we move on to our favorites? So that's going to take us to our favorites, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. Before we get into our favorites, you want to shout out Bailey, owner of One Legacy Title and Escrow. She was at the Georgia game, who played the Charlotte 1 in tenors. Charlotte 1 in tenors. But she was on the sideline. She was in the press box with Arcusi. Arcusi got in the Georgia Bulldogs press box.
You do love Kirby Smart,
which is amazing. So I thought that was very cool to see that happen. But this week we went with our favorite college athletic nicknames, as in the athletic teams that represent a college have a nickname, like the Wisconsin Badgers, the Tennessee Volunteers, right? The NC State Wolfpack. That Wolfpack,
the Radford Highlanders.
The Radford Highlanders. That is the nickname, quote unquote, of the school, or if you want to think of it as the college's athletic moniker, is another way to put it. Like what you refer to them as after you say the Michigan State Spartans. So our favorite ones of those. Who would like to start us off?
I do.
Oh
boy, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to go for this one.
I won't fight you for it.
I have two honorable mentions.
As you should.
The Lumberjacks of Stephen F. Austin.
Very good.
Ooh.
Got to know them. I mean, at this point, I think it was about 10 years ago when they whooped West Virginia's ass in the opening round of March Madness as the 12 seed, I think, or the 14 seed they may have been.
Boy, did you know that win is vacated?
What do you mean it's vacated?
They had all these athletic.
Know that
because I was doing research on this, because you may hear more about them
just for
later.
Shits and gigs.
But I was doing research. Their athletic department racked up all these violations. They're playing all these ineligible players, and so all those victories, those conference championships they won in those years, vacated.
Gone.
All the wins vacated,
and it's
gone.
Wait, what?
That win over West Virginia, gone, vacated.
No way. Who was their?
That's funny as shit.
Thomas Walkup.
Thomas Walkup. He was awesome. He looked just like a lumberjack.
Yes, he did.
He absolutely destroyed West Virginia. I'm guessing he was ineligible.
I don't know. Do you know who he plays for internationally now?
Who?
No.
He plays for the Greek national team because he's been playing over in Greece for the last several years. He was able to qualify.
Greek citizen.
Essentially, he's a Greek American. If you look it up, he plays with Giannis on the Greek national team.
Wow. The next team I have on here as my honorable mention, the Leopards of Lafayette.
You know Jeffrey's favorite animal?
The leopard.
The leopard.
He likes the spots. But I also was thinking about this. There needs to be more leopards as mascots. I think they're the only one. Leopards are a badass animal. Just doesn't, I guess, sound badass.
Better than a jaguar leopard. Yes or no?
Different skill set. Hard to compare. Different skill set. Leopards are quicker slightly. They're about the same size. Jaguars are stockier. Leopards are a little bit sleeker, but leopards are a little taller, but they're about the same weight.
On that same level, though, no one has a cheetah as a mascot. Why?
Because the cheetah gets their food taken constantly.
And
That's
cheetahs
why
aren't. I don't think cheetahs are technically a big cat.
No, they're not.
That's true. They're not. They're their
But
own.
Plus,
a bobcat's not a big cat.
there's so much to live up to as a cheetah. Like, imagine if you put a slow ass team out there, the memes would crucify you.
Yeah, cheetahs, like when they have a successful hunt, more often than not, it gets taken by a leopard, a hyena, or a lion.
Why? Pussies.
And have you seen?
Oh, they are pussycats.
Have you seen how fat cheetahs get in captivity as well? They swell up like a balloon. It's quite comical.
They're like German shepherds.
They look like beagles.
Well, yeah, because they don't eat a lot. Their hunt for survival is it's difficult for them.
They hunt so they can hunt for their next meal. They're practically starving at any given point.
Correct, and then that meal gets taken a lot of times by a lion.
Anyways,
and the cheetah can't fight back because it's a lot smaller. 2, it's exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
That if it sprints for a minute, it's done.
Yes,
right? It's just sitting there exhausted. It has to wait to eat because it's so tired. And then here comes a pack of hyenas or a leopard or
comes the
hyenas. Lions.
That's my David. That's my David.
That was good. That was good. That was very good. All right, moving on. That was fantastic. And my number 5 on this list are the Sun Devils of Arizona State.
Very nice.
A lot to do with that Mike Leach.
I was gonna say that's the only reason.
Press conference, but it's such a cool mascot. It's a great nickname. I think it's an apt nickname for Arizona State. I like it. I think it's great because you have the Blue Devils, you got some other Devils, but
there's several Blue Devils. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, the Blue Demons of DePaul
is cool. I really like the Sun Devils. My next one, this one's for you, Tomcat. The Matadors of Cal State Northridge.
Ayo, the Matadors.
Eduardo Carocchio, the Matador.
He had big hands.
Matador is a sweet nickname. We need more Matadors out there. And my next one, why? Because I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool nickname. A Matador? You're out there slaying bulls. We have bulls as nicknames. I want the Matador.
Yeah, but a Matador
wins.
It does, but it's such an unnecessary thing that exists, right? The bull exists as an animal.
I'm not here to do politics, Nick.
Right? The Matador does. There never needs to be a Matador ever.
Nick, I'm not here for that. I'm just here for the nicknames. All right? That's all I'm here for. And now, my next one, if I had the Leopards of Lafayette, I need the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh.
Yeah.
Very good. Just over there in Bethlehem.
I knew you would do that.
Yeah. Lehigh Mountain Hawks, by the way, I was there the Saturday, I left the Saturday of that rivalry game. And the hotel we were staying at is the hotel they use for, all the Lehigh fans stay at the hotel we were at. So they had a big Lehigh flag in the hotel lobby.
They won and remained undefeated, correct?
Correct, yes. The Mountain Hawks is an awesome name. And it's also very apt for that region. When I was living there, the amount of hawks that are on that mountain and just circling constantly is incredible. So pretty good change to go from the Engineers to the Mountain Hawks. So I like that one. Number 2, the Mastodons of Purdue Fort Wayne.
Very good.
That's a cool one.
Yes,
you don't hear Mastodon a lot.
No,
but
probably because
was that a Power Ranger?
Was that the black one?
The Mastodon was it's like a woolly mammoth.
Yeah. I thought it was the Power Ranger.
Yeah, there was a Mastodon. It was the Black Ranger, I believe, was the Mastodon.
Yeah.
Correct.
Back in our day, at least.
Back in our day, yeah. That was a great one.
Back when
it's a great nickname. I like Mastodon.
Big ass elephant.
And my number 1 in the same conference, I believe, the Horizon, the Norse of Northern Kentucky.
You do love that one.
Yeah,
I love that one, and I love it because anytime they shoot a 3, I can yell from Valhalla.
Did Dan Patrick go there?
No, he went to Dayton.
Yes,
he went to Dayton. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard him talk about.
I think he started at like Western Kentucky or something, something really small.
Northern Kentucky's smaller than Western Kentucky, isn't it?
Or Eastern Kentucky or something. I don't know. He went something small to, I think, play basketball and then left, I believe. But Dayton is always where he says he went. But that's my list. I'll hang up and listen.
It was a good one. Good list.
Very good
list.
Kamlo?
Honorable mention, UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. Give me the Banana Slugs. I mean, you want to talk uniqueness. There is not a lengthy line of people wanting the Banana Slugs as their school moniker. But I like it. I think that's kind of what I went for with my list, is there's a good amount of uniqueness with mine. Because I think those are the ones that kind of really stick with you. So honorable mention, Banana Slugs. Shout out UC Santa Cruz. Number 5, I'm going with the UNLV Runnin' Rebels. I love that name for a sports team, for a mascot, the Runnin' Rebels. And it's run in, not running, right? So they
fighting
they
Guy Fieri's.
slanged it up a little bit.
That's true. Yeah, by the way, Guy Fieri, I was going to say, Kamala wouldn't have said that if he knew that.
And UNLV drops out of the race.
Dan Patrick, Eastern Kentucky boy.
Cool.
2 years on the
Thank you.
Basketball Scholarship. Yes.
Yeah, I really like that name, Runnin' Rebels. It kind of sticks with you. Number 4, this one comes out of left field because I don't think it really exists anywhere else in the world. Give me the St. Louis Billikens. Give me the Billikens.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I did a little research on the Billikens because I had no fucking clue what it was. Do you? Probably not.
A real thing.
A Billiken is a charm doll that was created by an art teacher in Kansas City, Missouri. So it is unique and original to the state of Missouri.
That's terrifying.
Yes,
Yes,
they're
gotta be haunted.
Yes, so it actually, a Billiken is a charm doll that is said to bring you good luck. It is good luck.
Bullshit.
It is good luck.
Colin,
Bullshit.
bullshit.
It's
on
good
that
luck
one.
to give a Billiken, but it's better luck to receive a Billiken. Let that fuck with
Why?
your
Because
mind
it
for a
can
minute.
haunt you?
No, you got that backwards. But yeah, I think that was
It's good luck to give it away, so it can't haunt you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a Furby.
Yes.
Real talk. I mean, that's pretty much what a Billiken is. It's like a Furby. But yeah, I enjoy that. I think that's fun. I
Don't
think
get
that's
it wet.
unique. And
Don't feed it after midnight.
real talk, it's kind of fun to say. Billiken.
Yes.
Yeah,
It just rolls off the tongue. It's fun. Number 3, I'm going with the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I think it's
you know.
it's iconic. It's mildly
And
offensive.
Yeah.
It sticks with you, and there's no mistaking it. I love it. Not a fan of what they've been doing with their unique logos for sports.
I actually like those.
I
think
do
those
not.
are cool.
Nope.
I do think those are cool.
I don't like it. I don't like change. Just keep things the way they are. Thank you.
I'm dug in, and I'll
Yes.
never change.
Yeah, so we kind of passed each other. Number 2, I'm going UAB Blazers. It's a fucking dragon. It's a
By
goddamn.
the way, there is a mascot that is a dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, but Blazers
Drexel.
is cool.
And Tiffin is the Dragons.
The Drexel Dragons, I don't think sounds as cool as the UAB
That
Blazers.
sounds so cool.
That sounds better.
No,
I
but-
was gonna
Alliteration?
lie, 'cause I was about to say dragon.
UAB Blazers, there's some alliteration there. as
Charlie,
well.
you eat dragon?
I do like Blazers though, because I think it's very easy to say like we're the Dragons, but to say we're the Blazers, that says we're setting shit on fire. We're blazing a trail, right? I really like that. That one stuck with me out of all the dragons. And bonus points, their mascot is a dragon, but they're the Blazers. And because of that, you can't make any like dragging these nuts across your face jokes at them. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have thought of
See,
that.
you've never
it's
been
a dragon.
you've
though.
never
Yeah, but a blazer to me, you can make the jokes of them being potheads, just blazing up. Is it?
weed's legal now, man. What
In
is
Alabama?
what's in cup?
Wait, is that Cheech?
I still just can't get over the fact that that's Cheech all weekend. Anytime a Tin Cup reference came up. And then number 1, I'm going with the Radford Highlanders. When I was there, I loved being a Highlander. I loved seeing the mascot. And it is a huge upgrade from what their mascot used to be. They used to be the Radford Rowdy Red, and it looked like a mixture between Elmo and Grimace. It was
Like the Western Kentucky
disgusting.
mascot.
It was disgusting. Like imagine if Gritty from the Flyers had no
Red.
shape and was just naked. That was the
I gotta look this up.
yeah. Look up the Radford Rowdy Red. It was
Sounds awesome.
it was awful. Share it.
Hilarious.
Share it.
Hold on. Okay.
And tell me that a Highlander is not a massive upgrade.
Oh my god. What is this? No, Highlander is not an upgrade. This is
No,
hilarious.
this is awful. It's
That
awful.
schnoz.
That's what I'm
Is
saying.
that a mustache?
This is so on his Facebook. I don't want to go there.
No, you want to talk mildly offensive, Nick? Nick, you want to talk mildly offensive?
Yeah, go ahead. Why was he offensive?
Look at him. He's supposed to be a Scotsman.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, he has because the colors of his hat and tie are tartan colors. So he's supposed to be a clansman of the Tartan clan in Scotland. So
No fooling.
Yeah.
I'm from North Kiltown.
yeah, so massive upgrade, huge W. Give me the Radford Highlanders in the one hole. I will hang up and listen, gentlemen.
Holy crap! And what a mascot!
What a mascot.
That's why my
So
license plate used to be Rowdy Red. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's not
So,
anymore. I didn't just dox myself.
I did include with some of these obscure ones because again I did research
Okay.
prominent alumni from these universities. So I have two honorable mentions. The first one is the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. A javelina is
Ooh.
It's like a-
They're
yes,
nasty, man.
they're like a little wild boar, but they're actually, believe it or not, during my research, not a pig. So
Really?
their tusks, like I guess a boar and a pig, their tusks have to come from the bottom and curl up, right? Javelina's tusks are canines, like a dog, right? That they use to rip roots out of the ground, which is interesting. And their snouts are a little different. They don't have a tail like a pig. And pigs, I guess, have 4 ungulates. They only have 3 that they walk on. So there's all these weird little differences. But if you look at it, it's a little feisty desert pig.
Forages for roots
Yes.
to eat,
Yes.
using its massive canines.
Those things are dangerous as hell, man.
Yes,
If
they're
you ever
We're back to
vicious.
fucking Nat Geo.
But
We're
If
back
you
on
ever
planet
go to
Earth.
Arizona, planet Earth. If you ever go to Arizona, they tell you to watch out for them. I
Yes.
was in Sedona, and they were literally right next to our Airbnb in Sedona, and the person we were with was like going right up to them, like, we were just told not to like go near them.
no, they are feisty. They stink. Like they have like scent glands on their butts that they use to like communicate, almost like skunks. They're sometimes called like skunk pigs or
Now
pig
we
skunks,
know
something
why
like
you
that.
like them.
No,
They
so
communicate with their butts.
they travel in. They're very social animals. They travel in large groups. Oftentimes, their groups are called squadrons.
Squadron.
Yes, a squadron of javelinas. And also, Texas A&M Kingsville has a live javelina mascot.
We get
They have
the honorable mention.
The person in the suit, but they have a lot, and his name is Porky the Third.
But I thought it was
Awesome.
a pig.
Doesn't matter. They
Innuendo.
call him a pig. Yeah, exactly. But some famous alumni from Texas A&M Kingsville. These are all football players. Roberto Garza, former Bears great lineman. Darryl Green, possibly the greatest cornerback ever. Al Harris, possibly the longest hair ever at cornerback. Gene Upshaw, Hall of Fame offensive lineman. And John Randall, one of the greatest defensive tackles ever.
Doing too
John
much.
Randall?
All of them went to Texas A&M Kingsville and were javelinas. My second honorable mention is a whole conference. This is a Division II conference, the Great American Conference. First off, this is best name, Great American Conference. Holy shit, these nicknames on all these teams are just remarkable. I brought 4 out. Arkansas Tech. Their men's teams are called the Wonder Boys. Their women's teams are called the Golden Sons.
What a drastic difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
Their
the
women's
women's teams
teams are
voted
the
for this,
Suns.
and I was like, why did you do that? That could be very weird. But their notable alumni is none other than current Missouri football head coach Elia Drinkwitz, Arkansas Tech.
Wow.
Then, so this conference is all schools in Arkansas and Oklahoma, by the way. But then you have the University of Arkansas at Monticello. Men's teams are called the Bull Weevils, and the women's teams are the Cotton Blossoms.
What
Awesome.
is with the 2 different names? Anyway, keep going.
Yes. Then you have Southeastern Oklahoma State. So say that 5 times fast. They're the Savage Storm, which is pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
Their notable alumni, none other than Dennis Rodman. It's
What a
hilarious.
weirdo.
And then my favorite from this conference is the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders.
Jesus
as in people
Christ.
riding mules. The Mule Riders. All of this is in the
People
same
riding mules. Thank
conference, by the way.
Nope, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
Sorry.
5 on my list, though.
Okay.
The Campbell Fighting Camels.
I knew that.
That's a good one.
Middle of nowhere, North Carolina. Notable alumni, Comlo, former Orioles great Cedric Mullins, and current stud shortstop for the Anaheim Angels, Zach Neto, went to Campbell.
Go Camels.
Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons, like the boys said. The story behind why they're the Mastodons, at number 4, is
Mastodon in
yes, in the late 60s, some guy unearthed like this big ass bone, and he contacted Purdue Fort Wayne. Was like,
Seen a
hey,
movie
I
that
got
starts
this.
that
And
way.
so the students and the geology professors went there, and they unearthed basically an entire full mastodon skeleton. And so when it came, and they basically petitioned the school to change their nickname to the Mastodons, which
that
is
makes it so much better. That
so
makes
much
it
better, right? There's a whole story behind it that's, to me, very cool. Notable alumni there, John Conchar, current Memphis Grizzly basketball player, undrafted guy. Next at number 3, I have the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks, just like the boy had. They were named because of the region that they are in Nacogdoches, Texas. It relies so heavily on the forestry industry, and they had professors back in the day who lobbied to change the name to that. It's the Lumberjacks and the Lady Jacks, by the way, is the women's teams. Some great alumni here. Jeremiah Trotter, former Eagles great.
Oh, wow.
Mark Mosley, who is the 1982 NFL MVP with Washington as a kicker. Only pure special teams player to win NFL MVP. Mark Mosley is a Lumberjack. Ronnie Laws of Earth, Wind, and Fire went there. The aforementioned Thomas Walkup, who looked like a Lumberjack when he was there.
Yes, he was great.
Larry Centers, former great fullback, who has more career receptions than Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin. Larry Centers was a great player. And then the last one here, Don Henley of the Eagles. Not the team, but the band. Don Henley is a Lumberjack from Stephen F. Austin. Number 2, I lumped 2 schools together, 2 Big Ten schools. I really felt that they go together with the way their names are. It's the Wisconsin Badgers and the Michigan Wolverines. The Badger State, the Wolverine State. 2 vicious, they're not rodents, are they? No. What are they?
Good question. I actually don't know how to describe what
Yes,
they are.
but 2 vicious pound for pound tough animals.
They're
that are
weasels.
Weasels, that's right. Yes. Tough animals.
Which is hilarious.
Fitting to have as mascots, I believe. I just think that those are just great because it goes with the state and everything. And my number 1 is the Wichita State Shockers, baby.
Yeah, saw that one coming a mile away.
Shocking awe. They got their name.
Yeah.
The Shockers, as their student section does, got their name because when you harvest wheat, a way you could say is you're shocking the wheat, like wheat shock. And so they were initially called the Wheat Shockers when a student brought it up and changed it, but was abbreviated to Shockers later. Notable alums, Alec Boehm of the Phillies.
Okay.
Joe Carter of the Toronto Blue Jays fame, walk-off home run in the World Series. Former Red Sox great Doug Mirabelli. Yeah, I knew you'd like that one, boy. Bill Parcells played linebacker there when they had a football team. Apparently was pretty good too. Bill Parcells.
What the fuck?
And then WWE legend The Big Show went to Wichita State.
Fuck yeah.
No Van Vliet.
Well, I stayed away from the basketball guys because everyone knows them. Van Vliet, Ron Baker, they had to mention on their show last week. Clay Anthony Early, I think, is another one of those guys that was on those teams. There's been a steady line of great guys who played during those times and made it. But I wanted to highlight these guys because I had no idea these. I knew Parcells went to Wichita State. Didn't know the other people did. So that is my list. Any issues with?
No, it's your list.
I have something to contribute to both of your lists, actually, and this might. I don't know if this influences whether or not you move them up in your rankings or keep them where they are. The skeleton of Don the Mastodon is displayed on campus.
Pretty awesome.
It's in one of their buildings, and they've moved it around due to renovations and stuff, but they consistently spend money to keep the skeleton on campus. It's pretty fucking cool, and it's pretty cool how they do it because I guess they have a pretty, obviously it's not surprising, but they have a pretty sizable geology program there. You could imagine. But this is how they display it.
Yo, let's go.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking cool?
I'm gonna tell my work that we need to go to Purdue, Fort Wayne to do some recruiting for new geology or
Yeah, it's pretty
co-op
cool.
students or whatever.
During the 22-23
that's-
academic year, Student Government Association leaders agreed to spend $200,000 in capital funding to help the cause of keeping Don the Mastodon displayed on campus.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that taxpayer money. Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, so that's going to take us to what to look for, brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, give them something to look for.
I need to get a Purdue Fort Wayne T-shirt.
Yeah, we may all have to at this point. The Dons.
What to look for? It's feast week, and if you don't know what that means there's a ton of college basketball games going on.
Mm-hmm.
All the tournaments, Maui, Atlanta. Well, actually, I don't know if Atlantis are they kicking off this week. There's a Vegas tournament that's got some good teams in, but basically. Every day starting at like 11 a.m. there's basketball on, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Gamma?
For me, what to look for this week. I think one of the things I enjoy most about this week and the build-up is all the hilarious internet trolling that comes out leading up to college rivalry games, particularly Michigan, Ohio State. I sent you guys a pretty fire one earlier of Dr. Evil and number 2.
Are you gonna cry?
That one was really, really good.
Rob.
So I always enjoy the little bit of trolling that goes on leading up to these big games, and especially with implications like they have this year. It's going to be so much fun.
I think in that scene, Roblo said he started laughing. He's not crying; he's literally laughing.
Is that why the camera never shifts
Yeah,
to
I
see
think
his
so.
face?
Yes, I think he's like laughing his ass off.
100 billion trillion
Bajillion. Shirley, million.
$1 million. That's nothing. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to some good old fashioned college sports memery.
I like it. So first thing is Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right? One of my 2 favorite holidays in the year. This and the 4th of July or American Independence Day, mostly because they are the 2 uniquely American holidays, essentially.
Yes.
Right? Yes, you have some other ones thrown in there like Martin Luther King Day and whatnot, but these are the 2 biggest uniquely American holidays that we have, and they revolve around a lot of things that I love. Right? 4th of July, you're drinking beer and blowing shit up. Thanksgiving,
That's
being
not...
glutton.
You
You're being
celebrate 4th of
gluttonous.
July a little differently than the rest of us.
Well, you're not doing.
Celebrate your country by blowing up a small part of it.
You're damn right. Hey, John Adams wrote to his wife after they wrote the Declaration of Independence, because he was one of the chief authors of it. He wrote to his wife that this day will be celebrated henceforth with illuminations and parties throughout our country. Illuminations meaning fireworks. So he said it in 1776.
Blow
and so
shit
we do it
up,
to
John
honor his legacy. May he rest in peace. But Thanksgiving, again, going with the American, the gluttonous excess coupled with the savagery of American football.
I have
it's
14 Lamborghinis in one station wagon. Live in excess. It's the American way.
Wendy's Baconator. Extra bacon.
Yes. For Thanksgiving Day games for football, we have some good matchups. You have the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions looking to keep pace in that division with the Chicago Bears. Then you have Kansas City Chiefs will travel to Jerry World to take on the Cowboys. That's the second game. That's a big game for both teams. You finish up with the Flacco Bowl. Cincinnati taking on Baltimore in that last game. But also not to be outdone, there's one college game that day. It is the U.S. Naval Academy at Memphis. Huge game for the Naval Academy. It is absolute must win for them. So 4 great games going on that day. That is what I'm thankful for and what I'm looking forward to.
Sure.
You mentioned Rivalry Week, the great rivalries. Shout out Wisconsin, Minnesota. It was the most continuously played rivalry in FBS level until COVID ruined everything like that. And I believe now it lost like the most played as well, because I believe that is now Georgia and Auburn, and I think UVA UNC has surpassed it, weirdly enough. But the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe is always entertaining and always it's the best trophy in college, best rivalry trophy in college football.
Sure.
It really is. And last one here, the NCAA volleyball bracket is revealed this Sunday. So the whatever end of season, end of regular season or conference championships, whatever is on Saturday, I believe. Sunday they reveal the bracket for the tournament. So that's all good stuff there.
Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, good list.
So that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. For the boy, Stephen Vesci, and the man, Stephen Comlow, I am the coach, Nick Vesci. Don't forget to be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.
Happy Thanksgiving.